Agahon, coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan, in Western Visayas in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of tea this time. I'm going green tea. This brand, McCoy Tea's green tea this morning. I always start with the weather. That's on my live stream. Let me just make sure I'm live here. It looks like I am. Oh, let me lower the volume here. My laptop was on. All right, Numancia. Here in Numancia, it is 74 degrees Fahrenheit this morning. I already did my morning walk, amazing walk this morning. I was just wearing this shirt. I wasn't even wearing my sweatshirt or anything like that. 74. It was cool. It was cool. But once I started walking, it felt really good. Amazing sunrise. It was just beautiful. And then got really bright too. Like the sun was like intense when it was finally up. Right now it's being covered by some clouds, but I'm expecting it to be a warm day for sure here in Numancia, Aklan. The past few days, it's been right about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, there's mom, I think. Morning. Yeah, there's mom. That's mom coming down the stairs. Good morning, mom. Yesterday, Dazzle and I, we actually went to Calibo yesterday. They're having today is a holiday here in Aklan province. It's called the 19 Martyrs of Aklan. Back in the Spanish era, 1897, they were the 19 Martyrs of Aklan was part of the Katipunan. Katipunan was kind of like I would say like rebels against the Spanish rule during that time. And these 19 martyrs, led by a General Castillo, they got caught by the Spanish during that time, that era, and they were executed. And the place where they got executed here in Calibo, they erected a shrine for them, a statue of the general actually, and riding a horse, the name of the 19 martyrs. And today there's a celebration. It's a holiday here in Aklan province. There's going to be a parade. There's going to be, like the Atiatihan, the mayor's going to be there. This past weekend, on that street where 90, it's Maagma Street where the shrine is. They closed the road there and they had food booths. They had a live band last night. Dazzle even got to record it because Dazzle, Mom, and Liana went there last night. I didn't go with them because at nighttime, I don't really like driving at nighttime. And I'm pretty tired, usually by 5 p.m. My day is done already. So, but I did go there in the afternoon. I filmed some, and then Dazzle filmed it. So we'll edit the video today. But that's happening in Calibo. So 74 degrees Fahrenheit right now. No rain in sight here. We don't have any rain at all. And for the entire Philippines, Metro Manila, the rest of the country, just the easterlies. Easterlies, the winds coming out from the Pacific Ocean. That's why we're still having cooler temperatures in the morning here. But it's actually really nice. I kind of wish this cooler temperatures last, but I'm afraid by the end of the week here or by next week, it's going to be like the peak of summer season here in the Philippines. No rain in sight at all here in Aklan province. And the dollar, people always ask me about the dollar. The dollar to peso exchange rate, I checked it this morning, 59.80. It did reach 60.1, but now it's at 59.80. All right, make sure I'm good there. All right. I'm just checking all my I always I prepare like news articles here. I always pick out the ones that are interesting. Let me read through the comments here. Make sure I don't get too behind. Alberto, hello, Alberto Sanchez. Yo, 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 YOLO, Gino. my good friend Tim in Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. YOLO, brother. Charlie Lance. Hey, my brother in Boston, Joe Cano, good morning, brother Gino. Good morning, brother Joe. Aslan, good morning, good Gino. Israel, greetings from Israel. Thank you, my friend. I don't get many people from Israel on the live stream, but thank you for joining the live stream. I know there's a lot of Filipinos work in Israel. I actually know a couple from Calibo here that they work in Israel as domestic helpers. Alberto. Colonials went around the world, martyred natives in their. There's one of them. This is why here when the Spanish. The 300 years, over 300 years, 3 centuries. The Spanish ruled the Philippines. So for sure, there was many people that got martyred during that time. That's why. Aklan, Calibo is just a small piece of the Philippines. So I can imagine the entire Philippines got a lot of these celebrations today for people being martyred. Good morning, brother. Hey, Michael Manalastas, my brother in Northern California. Gino and Gino fans. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. Hello, love watching your posts. All right, thank you for your support, Alberto. What's up, brother? Hey, Belus. I was just like, I watched that video, man. Amazing video of the black gold in the Philippines, man. Man, that project's gonna prosper, man. I'm looking at it. I'm seeing all the vanilla pole that you're building up on that, your area there, the farm, up the hill. Man, that's gonna be something amazing, man. That's like you said, there's vanilla into people's start, but I've never seen like your project. I mean, that's a big project, man. That's like that's a whole new level that you're bringing in here, and you got amazing plan about it and everything, man. Just happy to see you're employing many Filipinos, man. It's like as a whole industry that you're bringing here, man. That I'm just happy to see that. Thank you for doing that, Belus. Paul Morgan, hey, my friend in Iloilo City. Good morning, Gino. Hope wonderful day. Yeah, I'm gonna have a wonderful day. I already had a good start to the day, man. It's like nice walk already. I filmed the video on my walk. Saw the sunrise. To me, that's just that starts my day really well, and then we'll just see how the day goes. It's like yesterday, Dazzle and I went to it's kind of like a food festival around that 19 Martyrs Memorial in Calibo. Dazzle, she ate like this baby squid. It's called adobong squid, but like the baby ones. Those are really delicious. I wish I can still eat them, but I'm allergic to a lot of seafood now. But I used to eat it, and I used to love how the tiny squid, it's a fresh squid cooked like adobo style in vinegar and soy sauce, melt in your mouth. They're so tender, not chewy at all. Sometimes the big squid here in the Philippines, where they stuff it with onions, tomatoes. Sometimes they get too rubbery because the squid is too big. But those baby ones, man, those are delicious. I had a melon shake, melon drink. It's like a cantaloupe drink, shredded cantaloupe on it. Delicious, man. It was delicious. Banging, all right. Said hi, hello. Alberto, yes, they ruled Mexico also over 300 years. Around the same time, Alberto. I actually have an article I wanted to share because I found it interesting. I always have these articles, kind of like my news report from the Philippines that I found. I'll share it in a minute here. I got to go through the comments here. Hey, Derek, aloha, my brother in Hawaii. Hey, I saw all the flooding, man, in the North Shore and in Hawaii, man. But I did see that it's receding. I hope the dam hole held up. I was watching a lot of videos yesterday in Hawaii. My friend, I have a friend there. My best friend, actually, he lives in Mililani. He said he wasn't affected. I guess Mililani's elevated, but I know the North Shore area got hammered by all the rains and flooding in Hawaii. Hello, sir, Juliana. Hello, hello. Hi, Paige. All right. Good morning, Lucita. Lucita, my good friend in Maine. Have a blessed day, my friend. Derek, opening day for Major coming on Thursday. Friday, Philippines. All right, I'm going to have to mark that down on my calendar. Yeah, I can't miss opening day. I know there's a game you mentioned, the Yankees, I think, on Netflix. But I'm going to subscribe anyway. I'll have Dazzle subscribe to a Spot TV is what I use here in the Philippines. Once the baseball season starts, I subscribe to a Spot TV. So I can catch all the baseball game, all the Dodger games, man. Good morning, Gino. Hey, good morning, James. Good morning, James. I'm enjoying like all the videos that you guys are putting out, man. I love the moto vlog videos, man. Like the when you drove through, like when you were in Bacolod, the sugarcane fields. I just love seeing that, man. I just, even when I drive here in Panay, and then I got to drive at Negros before and seeing those, I'm always amazed, man. It's like when I'm driving, the scenery's like rice fields, sugar cane. Sometimes you get the sunrise, sometimes you get the sunset. To me, those are like our priceless moments, and I just love it. I know the feeling you're getting, man, when you're riding on your motorbike, watching that, because I get that same feeling when I'm driving my car, man. Just like I'm amazed. It's just so green, so you got the sceneries are just amazing here in the Philippines. The dam held up. All right, I was affected. All right, I knew you would have mentioned if you were affected, Derek, but I'm glad it didn't affect you, and I'm glad the dam held up, because that was the big thing, right? It's like, will the dam hold up? And I guess Dole, they're partly responsible. Dole company, partly responsible for that dam. So hopefully, now that they're worried about that, maybe they'll do some refurbishing. Make sure that it holds up in the future. Spend that money, make sure that that dam holds up in the future. All right. Speaking of that article, we were talking about the 19 martyrs. I've always found this interesting here in the Philippines. Like, Spain conquered a lot of areas in the world. Mexico being one, right? Philippines being one also. They were here for over 300 years. About the same time they were ruling all these colonies that they used to have. But I always wondered why all the areas were Spain conquered, how come the Philippines don't speak Spanish? It's like everybody else, it's like they're speaking Spanish, Why the Philippines is the only former Spanish colony that doesn't speak Spanish. I was always kind of curious about that, because like, over 300 years of 3 centuries, the Spaniards ruled the Philippines here. And why don't we speak Spanish? It's like everybody else that they ruled, they speak Spanish. So I found that kind of interesting. And I did there's an article that I found, and what the reason for that is when we got colonized by Spain, there was only a limited amount of the friars, basically the people spreading the religion, basically here in the Philippines. And you know how the Philippines is so spread out anyway, right? We got over 7,000 islands. Even back then, I'm sure we had 7,000 islands or close to it. And it was just hard for them. They could not, there was not enough Spaniards that came here to be able to teach the Filipinos Spanish. What they did here in the Philippines instead, a lot of the friars, a lot of the church people at the time that's spreading the Catholic religion here in the Philippines, a lot of them learned the local language. They learned like Cebuano, depending where they were. Cebu was a big, that's a big landing spot here when the Spaniards came. So they learned the local language instead. So they didn't teach the Filipinos Spanish. Actually, the Spanish language here in the Philippines back then, all the way until the Spaniards got booted out here in the Philippines, it really was here in the Philippines the language of the elite. The language, the educated people, the Filipinos that had money. That's those are the people that speak Spanish here in the Philippines. So in order for the Catholic religion to spread quicker here in the Philippines, it was easier for the Spaniards during the time to learn the Cebuano or the Tagalog and spread Catholicism that way, instead of learning the 80 dialects they have here in the Philippines. It was easier for them. That's why we don't speak Spanish. That's why but I do find that interesting, because I always kind of wondered about that, why. But there are a lot of streets here. You got most of your plazas here, the churches, a lot of Spanish names, a lot of Filipinos last name are Spanish, me included. I got a Spanish last name. And then when the Americans came, that was after the Spanish-American War of 1898. Americans taught English. They pushed English. Even the government here, even the educational system here in the Philippines were taught in English, or they were particular about spreading English here. So the Spanish, the elites here in the Philippines that were speaking Spanish eventually kind of disappeared. Even that, there's still pockets in the Philippines. Like I know Zamboanga in Mindanao, they speak Spanish there, which is kind of out of all places, Zamboanga, because I have a friend, she's from Zamboanga, she lives in Houston now, and she speaks Spanish. I just found that kind of interesting how that went. Let me go back to my comments here. All right. Ooh, I see Fortune. I see Fortune there. Fortune, hey, there he is. My brother in Bacoor, in Cavite. Good morning, Ginno family and the Panay Posse. All right. Hey, JP ordered us some hats. Yeah, JP ordered us he had some hats made with the Panay Posse, man. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see the hats that JP had ordered. Captain Ron, saying goodbye to family. Moving to the Philippines next. And chat. Oh, all right, Captain Ron. That's awesome, man. Can't wait to meet you in person, and we're gonna definitely take you fishing. For first time you meet us, if let's go. We're gonna fish. We actually have a fishing trip planned on April the 9th. Daniel is still in Cebu City. He's processing his SRV, but I'm picking him up April the 8th at Caticlan Airport, and then the following day we'll have a welcoming to Aklan province for Daniel, and we'll have a fishing adventure at Loola's Fish Farm. Good AM, Charlie, Joe, Michael M, Baluz, Derek, Fortune. Good AM, Lucita, James, Karen, and Captain Ron. Good morning, Fortune from Jocano. There, Magellan came to Hawaii, Guam, and the Philippines. Oh wow, I didn't know, man, I must be lacking on my world history, man, but I did not know that Magellan even hit Hawaii, man. I always thought, his claim to fame here in the Philippines is he discovered the Philippines. But I'm sure the Philippines was around before there was a Philippines already, Captain Morning Fortune, how's the fresh seafood there? The fresh seafood here, Captain Ron's amazing. And we have New Washington, Aklan, in the province of Aklan, and the whole Panay Island. New Washington, Aklan is known for oysters. Where it's kind of like the oyster capital of Panay Island. Even, the seafood capital is Rojas City. But even when I go to Rojas City, I don't see the oysters that they have in New Washington. They're just amazing, man. They're big. It's like when you open the shell. It's a good sized oyster, and I remember eating them. I used to be able to eat them before, and they just melt in your mouth. They're like eating butter, man. They're so delicious, and good price. We actually, Rojas City, claim to fame, right? It says the seafood capital of the Philippines. But when you go to, I've gone there. I've eaten many seafood in Rojas City, right there on Bye Bye Beach near the Canadian Beaver. I've eaten at the Canadian Beaver. Canadian Beaver used to have a more Western type menu, but now I see they have a lot more Filipino food. So the next time we go there, we'll try some of their Filipino dishes. But the restaurants along Bye Bye Beach there, man, some of those restaurants, man, they're not cheap. they're pretty pricey, especially the Paluto. There's a couple there where we eat were reasonably priced, but even I guess because it's become touristy. That one on Bye Bye Beach, you're looking at least 50 to 20 seafood restaurants right there. So especially the ones that are like sit down, kind of like air conditioned, man, their seafood prices there are comparable to prices in Boracay. So I like it here in New Washington, Aklan, where you can, me, Dazzle, Mom, Leanna, the four of us can eat, and I'll only spend $20 on a seafood, a nice seafood feast, for like $20. So, but we have good seafood here in Aklan Province. Most of Aklan Province, from New Washington, Calibo, Numancia, our area, Makato, Tangalan, Ibahay, Nabas, Malay, Buruanga. That's like nine towns here are all coastal. We're all coastal. We got so much ocean here, so much beach area here. So seafood is inexpensive here and fresh. Belus. So really, Spain won the battle, but the people win the war. That's the very big deal, because communication is everything. Salute. Yeah, I found that kind of interesting, right, Belus? Because I always kind of wondered about that. Why, I've traveled the world. I've been in the U.S. I've gone to Mexico. It's like all the other places where it was a Spanish colony, they speak Spanish. But here in the Philippines, we don't. Very few Filipinos speak Spanish, unless you go to Zamboanga. The Zamboanga, they speak Spanish there. But here in Aklan Province, I can't find anybody that speaks Spanish here, man. I can't practice my uno más cervezas, por favor. I know a little bit. I took Spanish in high school. That was my foreign language that I took when I was in Long Beach, Wilson High. Fortune, Spain did not want the Indios to study, so they won't learn to uprise. Only the local rich learned. My grandparents spoke Spanish. My mom graduated European language major, Spanish in UP Diliman. UP Diliman. Yeah, that's why the Spanish was here in the Philippines during the Spanish era was the language of the elite. The people that got money. The local Filipinos, they weren't teaching them Spanish. The Americans came with the Thomasites. Yeah, that's why New Washington, Aklan, Fortune, it's called New Washington because of George Washington. The Thomasites, when they came here to Aklan, they established the public school system here in Aklan Province. And that's why they named a whole town for George Washington. So New Washington, Aklan is named after George Washington. I like this little tidbit of history, man. I like this little tidbit of history. Early 1900s, taught English The oldies died, so English and local languages remain. Belus, like and sub to the number one. Oh, thank you, Belus. So kind, my brother. Appreciate the kind words. Appreciate the kind words. Watching from San Diego, retired sailor. All right, retired sailor. I get a lot of viewers from San Diego here. I know Pinay Heart sometimes is here. Emilio, Ruben. Now Ruben moved from San Diego to here to Calibo. Thank you for joining. And I've been to San Diego. I lived when I moved to the United States. We moved to Los Angeles, and then I went to high school at Long Beach Wilson High. So I made trips to San Diego. I'm familiar with San Diego. Joke can do. Hey, Daniel's here. All right, Daniel in Cebu City. Daniel in Cebu City. Howdy all, my fellow Filipino posse brothers. All right. Hey, there's JP Calibo. All right, JP. Good morning, Ginno. Hello, Fortune, Belus, Captain Ron, Joke, Derek, and Juliana. Are you in the Philippines? Yeah, Daniel's been here since March 15th. So today is the 23rd. So he's been here 8 days. 8 days in the Philippines. He's in Cebu City right now, but he'll come here to Aklan on April the 8th. I will pick him up at the airport in Caticlan. All good, Captain Ron. In Bacoor, we can get fish, green shells, and oysters, but Panay has more variety and better. Oh yeah, then even now, Fortune, when I go to the public market here in Numancia, it's like less than a kilometer away. We go in Bumblebee. I still see fish that I've never seen before in the market. I mean, every time I go there, it's like, what is that? I always ask that, what is that? And that's always tell me, oh, this is, the Aklan name for it. Good AM, Daniel from Fortune. JP, Fortune, do you know how Magellan was able to find all those islands in the huge Pacific? Did he have help? Captain Ron, yes, JP. How is your new life going? Then morning, JP, JK, Fort Belus. Hey, Lowell, my brother in Oregon. God bless my brother. Mabuti ako, Lowell. Salamat, kapatid. Fortune. JP, he was just lucky. He was just lucky. Yeah, I figured they didn't know what they were doing, right? They're just like sailing. Oh, I discovered this. Like, to me, it's funny when they say, Magellan discovered the Philippines. I mean, the Philippines existed for thousands of years before Magellan came here. Stopped in the Atlantic, Magellan extended and crossed the Pacific, or maybe he had old maps. Good AM, Lowell. Morning, Fortune. God bless. Everything is going great. I continue to adjust to the Philippines. Last week, I found out if you go to LTO on a week with 2 holidays, it's too busy to get through in one afternoon. I am going back. Yeah, that's the thing, JP. And good advice to people, JP. If there's a holiday, like the Land Transportation Office, the worst, for me, the worst day to go there is like after a holiday. Like if, let's say Friday's a holiday, Saturday, Sunday, you go there on Monday, it's going to be, 3 times the amount of people that's going to be at the Land Transportation Office that Monday. The best time usually for me that I've found is usually Thursday, Friday. Towards the end of the week, most people get their transactions done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Because a lot of people, JP, these aren't all people in Calibo getting their license, whatever transaction they have. Some of them are coming from all over, from Libacao, from Malinaw, they're coming from everywhere in Aklan. So that's why, and they're trying to get their transaction done. A lot of them show up really early before. I mean, I'm sure if you went there at opening, the opening time at the Land Transportation is at 8 a.m. if you can show up there at 7, there's already like 50 to 100 people waiting for the doors to open. That's how crazy it is there. Very busy. That's kind of like, typical of government agencies in Calibo. The Bureau of Internal Revenue is the same. The deeds, the people in charge of the land. I mean, everything here, government agencies that open at 8 a.m. Usually there's a long line already before they even open. Good morning, Lowell and Daniel. Captain Ron, GP, did you get your AC fixed? I think he did. I think JP had mentioned it. I think he got it fixed. The Chinese map a lot of the Pacific. Yeah, they have that 9-dash line. The China's got that 9-dash line. Basically, they want to own all the ocean in the Southeast Asia. They basically claim everything. That's why they keep building those artificial structures in the West Philippine Sea. JP, Captain Ron, aircon is working normally, just does not keep up in the afternoon, except in the bedrooms. Yeah, it's the same. It depends on the where the sun is, right? Like for our house, it's the same thing. It's like our house in the afternoon. We only have one AC, like the window type unit upstairs in our bedroom, and we've vented. We put a vent going to Leanna and Mom's room, so they get air conditioning that way too. But there's a certain time of the day, like in the afternoon, where the sun is like hitting the window right on our bedroom, and I don't care what kind of AC you got, man. It's still, it's not cool, but you're at least comfortable, if you have the AC on. That's why a lot of times during the day we're just downstairs here. We're watching our big TV here. We're just hanging out here. Cooler here downstairs than upstairs, because upstairs we got a metal roof, so it gets pretty warm upstairs. But we don't turn on our AC during the day. For me, it's a way to get acclimated here. I know expats. I know they run their AC most of the day. Sometimes 24/7. But for us Filipinos, we typically just use AC at nighttime when we go to bed. And during the past few months here, we're not even doing that because it's been cool temperatures at nighttime. But during the summer, this next 2 months for sure, I will have my AC on to sleep at night, because it's hard to sleep when it's warm in your bedroom. But a lot of us don't use AC during the day. A lot of us open our windows, have screen on our window. We have a ceiling fan, we have desk fan, whatever fans we have, because electricity is pretty high here in the Philippines. If you're running your AC all day long, you're gonna have a high electricity bill. Like for our house here, we have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. My average electricity bill for the month is usually 4,000. The highest being like 4,500, sometimes 3,500. So about $70 is what I spend a month on electricity. Fortune says, thank you on info on New Washington. All right, Fortune. Derek, good morning, Mom. Yeah, Mom always she's having her coffee. She's probably outside she stays busy. That's why you see her walking, going upstairs. She stays busy here. Gino, any Thai restaurants in Aklan? We used to have one. We used to have one Thai restaurant, man, because I like Thai food. I like pad Thai. I like the spring rolls, you wrap in lettuce, I like that. But zero Thai restaurant right now we have a Vietnamese down by New Busuang. They opened a Vietnamese, and in Balete, where James is, there's a Vietnamese place there. For food, really for to get authentic, Thai food, Vietnamese, Indian, all those food that you'll miss, coming here, Boracay. Now, Boracay's got some nice restaurants, man. Boracay's a tourist destination. So the quality, like Muchos Mexican food, Tres Amigos, man, it's the same quality of Mexican food I've had in California, Texas, and Arizona. So, but pricey, a little bit pricey. You pay the money in Boracay because they actually have chefs. You know, they have a lot of chefs, like foreign chefs in Boracay. I always like look when I go to like a Thai restaurant or Korean restaurant, Indian restaurant. I always kind of look who the chef is. You know, it's like if I go to a Korean restaurant, I kind of want the chef to be a Korean. Same. You know, if it's a Thai restaurant, you know, I want somebody that looks like they know what they're doing. Man, Lowell, morning Beloos. God bless. God bless. All right, from Lowell. JP, I thought New Washington was named to attract me to Aklan because I am from Washington State and University. No, it's named after George Washington and the Thomasites because the Thomasites came to the Philippines to bring like education, the American education system to the Philippines. That's why even today the public school system here in the Philippines, our Congress, right? We have a House of Representatives, we got a Senate. Same setup as in the United States because they never changed it. It stayed even though we're no longer territory of the United States. Fortune, LOL JP, but both were named after George. JP, all right, there's Stevie, man. Hey, Stevie, what's up, Stevie? Good to see you, Stevie, from Washington State. Stevie's back in Washington State. He had his time in Katiklan, Aklan. He had an amazing time. He can't wait to get back. Stevie still has to work, unfortunately. He's not fully retired yet. He still has to earn a paycheck. So he's working on it, though. He's saving. He's trying to get all his finances set up, but he had a great time during his time in he cannot, I get messages from Stevie all the time. He cannot wait to get back here to Aklan province. Fortune, for example, I don't see tuna in Bacoor, but Tibiao Antique tuna are lots, except not as big as Jensen. Oh man, tuna here, man. They're just like, they're everywhere here. Fortune, yellowfin tuna, jackfin, I think jack tuna, that's the other tuna. But you go to any of the public markets here, Numancia public market, especially Calibo. If you go to Calibo, man, sometimes it's the whole fish. They haven't even cut it. You get to watch them. Like they'll bring in like a giant tuna and then they'll cut it in front of you and you can select the piece that you want. Magellan was lost mostly in guessing. That's Stevie goes, Magellan was lost in guessing. JP Calibo, the Philippine holidays do not show up on my phone. Yeah, well, like today's a holiday. Today's Aklan holiday, JP. What I'll do, JP, I think I have on my phone, I think I saved all the holidays in the Philippines. Coming up for sure, April, first week of April, Maundy, Thursday, and Good Friday. Those Thursday, Friday, 4-day weekend here. So that's pretty much the next holiday I think that's coming up. But a lot of holidays here in the Philippines for sure. It's hard to keep track because you got the national holiday, the entire Philippines. Like last Friday was another holiday, like the Muslim celebration, Ramadan or something. And then today is a Panay, like Aklan, the 19 martyrs, just in Aklan province is a holiday today. So just many. I got to track a lot of the holidays because of Liana, because it's always Liana doesn't have school on the holiday. She'll tell me, Kuya, I don't have school tomorrow. Why you don't have school? And she'll tell me, it's a holiday tomorrow. Oh, then I find out what holiday it is. Maybe Magellan was credited because it became Philippines. Prior to that, it was a country, just a number of independent kingdoms. Yeah, the like 7 or 8 kingdoms. The Datus used to rule the Philippines. And hey, Kevin Shores, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining the live stream. Panay were 10 Bornean Datus. The Datus, one of it, right? The Panay is like one of the Datu area. Oppressive Sultan Makatunaw, Datu Puti. These guys came ahead of Magellan. Oh, definitely, definitely. Like, you know, Stevie. All right, JP. All right. Good AM, Kevin. Fortune. What's up, Fortune? All right. New Year's Day. You got a whole list. You got a whole list there, Stevie. Good Friday. I know that's the next holiday. It's like the Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, Thursday. It's a 4-day weekend here, first week of April. Yeah, lots of holidays for sure. See, Stevie listed all the holidays here. And there's more, like, because there's Panay holidays, there's Panay Island holidays, and there's Aklan Province holidays too. April 2 and 3, Holy Week. All right, Ninoy, yeah, and then you got the Ninoy Aquino, those, there's just so many. And then the religious holidays here. Hey, buddy, good morning. Still looking forward to my, all right, Dean, my brother in Colorado Springs. I'm here, man. If you come to Aklan, man, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here, so. Hugs, everybody. All right. I'm stuck overseas Filipino worker. That's funny. Stevie, he says he's a OFW in Washington State. In Washington State. That's all right, Stevie. At least you're working on it, man. You're working on trying to make the Philippines your home permanently. Now, at least, Stevie, you got to see it. You got to see what kind of life that you can have here. Stevie's actually talking about buying a part of an apartment here. I'm like, hey, Stevie, slow down, Stevie, slow down. JP, hello, Stevie. Take care of Washington. I won't be back. JP said, I won't be back. JP, Although the Philippines president is only 1 6-year term, the U.S. president to 4. Yeah, the reason for that, I think it's 1987 or 1987, 89 Constitution. They just made sure that from now on, it's just one term for president for 6 years. You can't be re-elected as president here. That way, there's no dictator that can be president forever. JP Calibo, I was planning on going to LTO tomorrow, but might wait. Yeah, wait a couple more days because today's a holiday. The weekend, I would wait. Don't go tomorrow. Don't go tomorrow. That'll be too many people. But expect, it's a thing, man. Just expect long lines for the driver's license. That's the thing. And there's no getting around that, There is a way to get around that, but I'm not gonna mention it. I'm not gonna mention it here, JP. Seattle, Washington. Good PM. It's a sunny day, Sunday here in Seattle, Washington State. It's the baseball. Oh, Seattle Mariners. All right. Cleveland Guardians. Who is your pick to win? I like the Seattle Mariners. I'm a Dodger fan, but Seattle did really well in the playoffs. They almost made it. To the Hawaii was a kingdom. Yeah, same thing here in the Philippines. It was kingdoms. There's datus, like ruling different sections of the Philippines before it became the Philippines. No dictator tendencies, as Fortune said. Stevie, Magellan just happy not to shipwreck, crash into the reefs. Yeah. Ready for Holy Week, Kevin Shores? Here in the province, really, we're not going to travel. And that was the other thing I was going to talk about today is I saw this article regarding, let me see, did I save it here? Ammo, complete. I didn't move it there, but the thing that's happening this year, that's more likely going to happen for Holy Week. Holy Week here in the Philippines, a lot of times people that are, especially the people working in Metro Manila, during Holy Week here, the people working in the cities, Cebu City, Metro Manila, a lot of those people for Holy Week, they leave Manila to go to their provinces. You know, a lot of people that work in Metro Manila, they live Pangasinan, you know, La Union, Ilocos, you know, they start going to their provinces during Holy Week. But this year, because of the gas prices, everything being, you know, people are worried, you know, prices are going up here. They're not going to get that big influx of people leaving the cities for Holy Week. And I can already see that here even in Calibo. The few times that I've gone to Calibo, it's looking like a ghost town. You know, yesterday Dazzle and I, we went to that the shrine where they had the food festival. Man, I've never seen Calibo that empty. You know, it's like there was tricycles, but it was just Calibo has been looking empty. I think a lot of even the tricycle drivers, because of the gas prices, they're like, well, I'm not gonna make that much money, you know, so they're deciding not to go out, you know, and people are just not going out, you know, because people are like tighten up their budget. Same thing with us, you know, we're tightening up everything, just making sure, because we don't know what the future holds here in the Philippines. Like right now, yesterday, driving back from Calibo, the Shell place where I get my gasoline, the gasoline was 88 pesos. Before the thing in the Middle East, it was 58. So it's gone up 30 pesos already per liter. And they're expecting another round of increase next week. We might hit triple digits as far as gasoline prices there. Diesel's already above triple digits. I've already seen 114, 115 on the diesel per liter, not even a gallon. You know, so gasoline, if it reached triple digit pesos, like 100 pesos per liter, that's over $6 a gallon, man, for gasoline. That's pricey here in the Philippines, you know. So people are just like being frugal, being safe, you know, they're just staying home, trying to save money. We really don't have a lot of plans for Holy Week, this coming Holy Week. Yeah, we haven't even thought about it, Kevin Shores. Usually Holy Week, we try to go to Boracay, Iloilo City or something, but not this year. This year, we're pretty much gonna just stay home, just play it safe, save our money. Skipjack tuna. Yeah, that's it. The skipjack. I remember jack tuna or something like that, but they're they don't have that yellow fin. They're more just plain white, silver, dark color. But good tuna, you know, good tuna, man. Brian, hey Brian, good morning, buddy. All right, good morning, buddy. I kept my, so you know, I didn't know that. I didn't know, Stevie, that, see, Stevie, when he was here in Katiklan, he rented an apartment from my friend Maricel. And he kept the apartment while he's working in Washington State. So he's got a place. So when he comes back here, he doesn't have to look, because he loves the apartment. I love the apartment, right? Stevie, I mean, for the price of the apartment, and he's walking distance to the beach. I mean, you can't beat that, man. You can't beat that. JP, your aircon should drop the temperature 15 degrees from what the outside temperature is. Yeah, you know, the aircons do that, Captain Ron. But I think a lot of times, depending on your apartment, like I said, like on our house, depending on your window, the glass window, if it's facing the sun, man, the sun here is pretty intense. That adds to the heat in the bedroom, you know. So, and more likely with JP, I'm thinking the sun is just hitting his apartment at a certain time where the AC can't keep up with it. Fortune holidays are national, regional, provincial, town, or city. I know. That's why we have so many holidays, man. That's why we have so many holidays here in the Philippines, man. Gonna get washer, dryer for my place when I'm back. All right. Good. Good call, Stevie. You're gonna improve your housing situation. You're gonna. Oh, mom's doing laundry. Mom's doing laundry. She needs the extension. She needs the extension.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. 1980s. Yeah, I thought it was. I was thinking 1987, 89 for some reason in my head, but I knew it was one of those constitution that made it 6 years. JP, if you get over to Eastern Washington, I was living near Warden Lake before I left. I am drinking green tea. Green tea, McCoy. McCoy is the brand. I have Lipton. I have McCoy. I just get whatever they have at the grocery. And at the time, I had these. It's a box, a big box actually. It's like 100 pieces of green tea. I love green tea. I used to drink it all the time when I was in Japan. I lived in Japan for 4 years, and green tea was like my go-to drink. Ginno, any cooking classes there at the local college? No. Unfortunately, Captain Ron, Basil and I actually checked cooking and baking. We actually checked it. We wanted to take classes in Kalibo, baking, since we had gotten the oven. But unfortunately, there's no classes like that of any kind. You have to be a college student, culinary, to register. You have to wear a school uniform and everything. I think it's like one of the colleges it's a cook. It's not just a cooking class, but it's a cooking college, culinary arts. So it's not like in the U.S. where you can take 1-2 weeks class. It's nothing like that. It's a whole 2-year or 4-year college here if you want cooking classes. The best way for cooking classes probably is just to meet a Filipina that can cook. Meet a Filipina that can cook and then learn from the Filipina. I completely understand, Kevin Shores. Stevie, horse mackerel and giant trevally. Masarap. Mackerel, I know mackerel. I like the aloy. Aloy is the local fish that they call aloy, because I like it because it's a darker meat and the bones are pretty big in the middle, but you don't have to pick a lot of tiny bones. I like that fish, aloy. Flyboy. I think with the upcoming or change is already in law here in the USA, might jeopardize if one goes. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. This Flyboy's not gonna happen. That's just a politician making noise in the U.S. You'll never get rid of dual citizenship. That's just that's crazy talk. There's too many dual citizens, man. Captain Ron, JP, what travel map app do you use? JP, okay, I'll go pay homage when I go bass fish. Yeah, Stevie's a fisherman too, like you, JP. Dean Bortels, I'm definitely coming to see you guys. Iloilo City, Aklan, Boracay, Rojas, many others on the list. I may have my SRV in hand by then. Staying as awesome, Dean. Yeah. When you show up here, man, I'll show you around. It's like I still have a car. So I'll show you around. Whatever you want to see here in Aklan Province, I'll take you around. I'll be happy to do that, Dean. Southern Cal Benny, happy Monday, Ginno. Oh, that's right, it is Monday. It threw me off today because Leanna doesn't have school. She doesn't have many school days left because they already had final exams. And then March 30th, Leanna gets an award because she's top of her class, grade 7. So she's supposed to go up on stage in her uniform. And we'll let mom go up with her and I'll take pictures, I'll film and everything. So that should be a fun day for us. And then we'll celebrate at a restaurant in Kalibo. I've read the price of oil will keep rising until the point that it plateau. At the plateau price, most economists will stop. Probably, yeah. Here in the Philippines, for us here in the province, and I've said this before, it doesn't really affect us too much. The people in the cities, of course, they're gonna get affected more. Prices are going up more if you're living like in Metro Manila, if you're living Iloilo City, if you're living in Cebu City, because a lot of the products in their grocery, a lot of their products in the public market in those areas, they're shipped from somewhere else. I don't see many rice fields or farms in Metro Manila. So a lot of their products come from Baguio, from the provinces, Bulacan, Pampanga. So the cost of driving here in the province, all the vendors that we have at Numancia Public Market, they're local, they're locally sourced. These are farmers around our neighborhood, outside our community. We got farms here, so we're not affected as much. Especially the fish, the seafood. I mean, they actually, what happens here a lot of times is they'll even bring the seafood to our community. Like, I live in a gated community, so at the guard shack, in front of the guard shack, people start coming in there with their goods, like seafood, produce, because it happened during the pandemic, and I'm expecting it to happen again now, because since people are lessening going out of the community, they're gonna come here to sell their goods, because they want to keep selling. They want to keep making money. Here in the Philippines, Southern Cal Valley, the thing that's gonna really cause issues here, I think, just my opinion, I'm not political or anything, is the Philippines only has a 30-day reserve of oil. So, and we're coming up to the end of April. I think we only have reserves until like sometime in April. After that, we're gonna run out of oil here. So that's gonna, it's like, I don't know how, that's why I'm kind of like a conservative, like, I'm not spending my money. We're not planning trips or anything. We just want to wait and see what happens. I mean, we still do fun things, like yesterday, Dazzle and I went to Calibo at that food fest. They went there last night. They ate pizza. They had drinks. We can go fishing. We'll go fishing we'll go to the beach. I'm sure once Leanna's vacation her summer vacation starts March 30th during Holy Week, we'll go to a swimming pool, we'll go to the beach. There's stuff for us to do around here. I just don't want to spend extra money on traveling, airplane ticket, ferry ticket, hotel. Not right now. I'd rather just save money and see how it goes. Because there's no telling what this oil crisis is gonna happen. What's gonna happen here in the Philippines? Hey, Michael S, my brother from another in Dumaguete City, the Duke of Duma. Bro Ginno, do you have sushi place to eat sa Aklan? Only in Boracay. There's now actually, Dazzle and I did find a sushi place in Calibo. It's at Old Buswang near the backyard. They newly opened. Daisuki, pretty good. I was impressed with their sushi. Now, they had other Japanese dishes, just okay. It's like I usually like beef gyudon. I like gyoza, just okay. But their sushi was okay. I would eat their sushi again. But Boracay's got the best sushi. If you want good sushi, go to Boracay Island. The Hakata, I think Hakata on Front Beach is very good. Hama at D-Mall, really good sushi. Grilled that fish. Yeah, the aloy. I like the grilled aloy. I like that. I think that's what you're talking about, the mackerel. I think aloy is the local name here of mackerel. Currently, exchange rate to $1.59 buy. Buy pesos now. I actually was thinking of going to the bank maybe tomorrow. I still have moved some of my dollars on my dollar bank account, exchange it to some pesos. Stevie has a nice tiny home. Oh yeah, I filmed it, right? You guys got to see it on film. It's a studio apartment. It's got a gas range. It's a nice apartment. And from his window, he can see the water. I mean, how awesome is that? He's got a balcony upstairs where he can hang his clothes, like with a view of the ocean, breezy. It's always breezy in this area. I know Stevie can't wait, man. I know he kept the apartment. He kept the apartment. That's why I know Stevie's gonna be back. It's just a matter of time for Stevie to be back here. Just save your money, Stevie. Keep working. Save your money. That way, you can end up here in the Philippines. And Captain Ron, I use Google Maps with Bluetooth headphones on now. I try using the old phone on a mount, but the rough roads shake it off. Dropping phones on the concrete is not good for them. I know, right? Young Fresh, from New York City. All right, Young Fresh. If you can pay the same money in the States as in the Philippines, would you rather be in America or the PH? I've said this many times, Young Fresh. If I can afford retirement in the USA, I would retire in the USA. It's like the only reason I'm here is this is what the retirement I can afford on my military pension. If I take my military pension right now, even if I start collecting Social Security, I'm 2 years away from my Social Security. Even my Social Security, even my military pension, it might not be enough in the U.S. I mean, I could manage, right? But to me, the United States are for people that can afford retirement in the United States. But if you have to balance it out, if you ask me, if I have the choice of retiring the United States, retiring the Philippines, of course I will choose the United States. It's still a better, everything's efficient. You don't have all the adjustments that you have to make here in the Philippines. This is a developing country. It takes a lot to takes a lot of patience to live here. The only reason a lot of us are here is we can't afford retirement in the United States. Our money, our pension here, my pension here alone, my military pension here alone, just goes a long way here in the Philippines. You're getting value for your money. What if I was living on military pension alone in the U.S., I probably can't survive. I would have to work in the United States. Whereas here, I do not have to work. I'm saving a good portion of my military retirement pay every month. That's why I'm here. That's how I've been here for the last 15 years. I have to balance whether do I want to keep working in the United States or I want to start my retirement early and enjoy my life. I just value my freedom, not having a boss, not having to answer to anybody, owning my time. I just value that more than working, because especially now I've learned that, I'm not materialistic anymore. I don't buy things. I don't, a new car doesn't excite me anymore. A bigger house doesn't excite me anymore. I'm done with the materialism already. So now I just want to live healthy. I want to enjoy the days I have with Dazzle and my family here. Are they allowed to enter the subdivision and ring and try? No, not allowed. I've never had a vendor here. That's why we have security guards. That's the thing about gated communities. You won't have anybody knocking on your door. When you live outside a gated community, of course anybody can just at your gate or something, they can just bang your gate, and you never know what. Here very strict as far as that. We have security guards that people that are entering, they have to be residents here, or if they're not residents, they have to be going to a specific house and leave their ID at the gate. So you can't just all of a sudden. That's why I said earlier, the vendors, like the vegetable vendors, the fish vendors, seafood vendors, they're outside the guard shack. They'll pull up in there in their tricycle, motorbike with their big cooler, and they show up there at 8 or 7 a.m. And the neighborhood here, we just know that they're there. We have a group chat, and on our group chat, they say, "Oh, there's a Manong over here selling some aloe, some fresh mackerel. Anybody interested?" So you walk to the gate, and then you buy your product there. But they're not allowed to come in here and start selling door to door. Can ride bicycle again. Gas. Yeah, I got my bicycle, man. I got my Dazzle's foldable bicycle. I've been riding it more. Not a problem. The gasoline thing's not a problem for us, because we've been through it before, where during the pandemic, Dazzle couldn't leave the house for like 3 months. She could physically cannot leave the house for 3 months, during the pandemic. So we just stayed here. Like I said, people were like bringing food to us. I was buying crab. I was buying stuff at the guard shack and just walking it to the house and cooking it here. I know that's going to happen again. And then our mayor at the time was awesome, man, because like we have a surplus of rice here in Aklan province, especially in Numancia. We're like one of the top producers of rice here. Man, during the pandemic, our mayor gave us like a 50-pound sack of rice for free. He even gave us like a dressed chicken, canned goods, coffee. I mean, I wish he was still our mayor. There's a new mayor. I think he retired. He's kind of like an older gentleman. But like, man, it's like we. That's what I'm saying. We're able to like handle it. Any crisis, anything. With the gasoline, we're able to handle it more here in the province. I know the people in the cities, they will have a harder time because people in the cities rely on public transportation. They rely on taxi, Grab, bus, subway, that kind of thing. It's like any increase in price of that, people are already like paycheck to paycheck. Payday loans are already spreading here in the Metro Manila, man. So another additional increase inflation for them, it's going to hurt them for sure. Daniel, shipping balikbayan box with 3 fishing reels, salt water, and 1 fresh water. A lot of lures, hooks. Oh, can't wait, man. Can't wait for them to arrive. I'm sure Dazzle will be excited to see all that stuff, Daniel. Sushi spicy California roll. Sushi. Yeah, man, I love that. Spicy California. Man, I love sushi, man. Like I said, I lived in Japan for 4 years now. Those were like some of the best sushi I had when I was living in Japan. And I'm addicted. It's like Dazzle, she's coming around, when I first met Dazzle, she didn't want to eat sushi, but she's eating it now. She's eating sushi now. Stevie, aloy fish, right? That's my favorite, man. Aloy fish. I can just eat the aloy like mackerel, grilled on a pit, whatever. Just cook one side, cook the other side. Make sure it's just cooked. Man, I can eat that. I can eat the whole fish. Leia is baking some great sourdough bread on Leia and Gary vlogs with instructions. All right. I'll have to check it out. I know their channel. Saving. All right, Stevie. Save that money, man. Save that money, Stevie. That way you can stay here in the Philippines longer. Remitly exchange is 58.60 plus $5 for transfer. Not bad. I mean, it's like instant. That's the thing with Remitly. It's instant transfer. If you don't want to wait, if you're in a hurry for your money, you can just get it, in an instant. Captain Ron, I used to make sourdough bread, thick slice, then top with country gravy. Ooh, wow, that sounds delicious. Seattle, Washington. I was stationed U.S. Navy, Diego Garcia, all right, in the Indian Ocean. I caught big yellow fin tuna. Oh, wahoo, all right, bonefish. Oh, that's awesome, man. Oh, the coconut crab, yeah. Parrotfish, it's supposed to be here in the Philippines, like on the restricted. You're not supposed to eat parrotfish here, but I do see them in the public market. I always tell Dazzle, the parrotfish are colorful, different colors. So I can always say, and I always tell Dazzle, isn't that, illegal to eat that? That's like Dazzle. Yeah, but don't say anything. My favorite military base for fishing. Oh, I bet, man. That's awesome. I never made it to Diego Garcia, but I know the place. When I was stationed in Clark Air Base, there used to be people from Diego Garcia that would come to the Philippines, probably to Subic, and then they would visit Clark Air Base. Young Fresh, tell Dazzle thanks for showing us that helpful video about Coffee Digest. it's good for people to know which coffee places to go when they visit Aklan province. She always, oh yeah, she's making more videos now. If you notice, like I told Dazzle, when they go out to Calibo, you'll see more like different cafes, things like that. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I'm glad you enjoyed that. We'll try to show you more of the things here in Calibo. Stevie, I would have to stay Philippines 6 months permanently, annually, even if I like maybe even 7 months. Oh yeah, that's fine, Stevie. To me, I think that's fine for you to do. Like work 6 months in the U.S., live here 6 months and enjoy, right? So that's a good life still, Stevie. That's a good life, brother. And you got an apartment already. You got a place here. You have friends already. Stevie's got friends in Katiklan. His neighbors. He's got that one friend that takes Stevie around on his tricycle. I agree with you, brother. It's all about valuing your time. Yeah. For me, I realized that more, Young Fresh. You always hear people say, you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. I always tell people, as soon as you can retire financially, afford retirement. I mean, you got to make sure you're okay financially. But for me, the minute you can afford to retire financially, I don't get the point of working anymore. That's just me. Yeah, as you can see, I'm an example of that. The soonest I could stop working, the happier I became. For me, work was always stressful. I was in the military, man. 20 years in the military, enlisted. I was not an officer in the military. I was enlisted. And our job as enlisted member of the military, we have one of the most stressful job in the world, in America. It's like always in the top 5 of most stressful job, being an enlisted member of the military. So I did that for 20 years. I had that stress. And then even when I transferred to the civilian world, working in a hospital for another 7 years in St. Mary's Hospital in Tucson, it was just stressful, man. So for me, it was like I was just valuing, man. Yeah, I could have continued working till 62, had more money. But what am I going to do with the money? It's like it's just going to sit in a bank. I'm not one of those people that want extravagant things. I just want a simple life. Peace of mind is what I want. My health, my health is my focus. Money wasn't. I'm not the type of person where I equate success with money. I know some people are like that. They look at, if I have a lot of money, I'm successful. I never looked at my life like that. I've always looked at my life. To me, my freedom, it was more important than accumulating money. Not having to answer to anybody. It's like when I wake up, I can do whatever I want. I don't have a boss. I don't have to report to anybody. I don't have any deadlines. To me, that is living. It's like having to answer to somebody else so you can earn money. To me, that's not living. Just me. That's, Mazelda, how much pension is needed to retire comfortably in the U.S.? That I would not know. I'll never reach that kind of amount of money. That's why I think a lot of people in the U.S., a lot of people end up working for so long. They work too much, double, triple job, to accumulate money, because it takes a lot of money to retire in the U.S. That's for sure. It's like it is not cheap to retire in the U.S. That's why a lot of Americans are going abroad. They're going to Philippines, to Panama, to Mexico, to Thailand, to retire, because it is hard to afford a comfortable retirement in America. That's good. Vendors can't just ring on your door no, nobody. I don't even have a doorbell. I don't even have a doorbell, man. So, and it's really rare that like anybody even shows up at my gate, because my dog will bark and I'll be like, who are you? It's like they don't allow that. That's the reason I like living in a gated community. We don't have vendors like that. We don't have tricycles like looking for passengers here. We don't have stray dogs, roosters everywhere. That's the thing about gated community. You have rules. When you live outside the gated community here in the province, especially here in Aklan province, Young Fresh, There's no rules. You can have a really nice house. You can build a fence in your house, right? You can build a fence in your house. You can have a gate, really nice house. But your neighbor could be burning trash, because they do that here in the province. Here in our neighborhood, no burning of trash. We have somebody that pick up our trash. But if you live outside a gated community here in Aklan province, your neighbor can burn trash. All of a sudden, your neighbor can have like 25 roosters. They can raise roosters. There's nothing you can do because it's a province. That's the way it is here. That's why, there's always a debate whether, a lot of people prefer living, outside the gated community. I'm one of those that I prefer a gated community because I like the rules. I'm military, man, 20 years in the military. I like discipline. I like rules. It's a free-for-all. When you live outside a gated community here, man, it's a free-for-all, man. You can have like cows, you can have goats from your neighbor, like going into your property. And if you have vegetable plants in your property, they can be eating it. You better fence your property or people just come, and take your stuff. That's when you build a house outside a gated community, your safety, you always have to think about your safety. You got to build walls. You got to build a gate. You have to have CCTV. You have to have dogs because, even though it's safe here in the province, I consider, I've never had issues with crime here. I've always felt safe here. There's anywhere you go in the world, there's always that criminal element. A lot of crime that happens is a crime of opportunity. If you're not protecting your stuff, chances are somebody's like, ooh, man, I want that stuff. So, Stevie, Maselda, perhaps 7,000 a month to be basically comfortable is very basic matter. Yeah, in the U.S., right? $7,000 probably. JP, my feet get 2 kilometer per pandesal and coffee. All right, yeah, 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer. So you got 2 kilometers to get your pandesal. That's all right. That's all right, man. Get your exercise, man. Get your exercise, JP. Sunny, that's without a mortgage. That's without a mortgage. USA is crazy. Need maybe $7,000 a month to be safe, secure, and okay generally. But the society is in terrible upheaval and decay. Raw fish too, yummy and healthy. Seattle, Washington, definitely when I return to the Philippines, I will be doing a lot of fishing, going to the beach and eating seafood and lots of karaoke singing. There you go, man. That's what we do. That's what we do here, right? Did I find? No, I never found the fresh milk place here in Calibo, man. I never found that place. They don't do a good job of advertising. I never, and it's not a big deal, man. I'm used to powdered milk. It's like I'm one of those people that like adapt to whatever's available. I'm not one of those that, I gotta eat I gotta have fresh milk or I gotta have steaks. I haven't eaten steak in 10 years, man, because I've never found a good steak here, so I just gave up on steak, man. Stevie, have you considered renting your apartment to? Yeah, he already is. He already said, JP, that he's already, Stevie's actually renting it while he's gone and actually thinking of buying it. And Stevie mentioned it to me. My friend Maricel is like, do you want that apartment? I'll sell it to you. Kind of like a condo situation. I don't know how that's, but I can trust Maricel. Maricel's a good friend of mine. Maricel's partner is an expat. It's hot, Mom. Mom said it's hot outside. Yeah, the sun is up, man. It is warm. It looks warm outside, man. It's gonna be in the 90-degree temperature here today for sure. All right, yeah. Use my sunblock, Mom. Get your sunblock on. You can't be outside without sunblock. Dazzle has great camera skills. Yeah, I mean, she's got a nice iPhone. Dazzle's iPhone is an iPhone 16. Mine is an iPhone 10. It's like Dazzle's got the newer iPhone. So the one, when she's filming, it really comes out really nice. Yep, Dazzle is a natural with the camera. she makes better videos than me. I keep telling Dazzle that because she gets creative. She'll show stuff. She'll edit it. Me, man. You seen my videos? My videos are like I'm just walking with a GoPro, just showing you guys. It's like I do my best, but man, Dazzle's videos are a lot better than my videos. You were an officer in it, but we weren't commissioned. I know we weren't commissioned. Skating geezer, my brother in Ormoc City, my Air Force brother in Ormoc City, skating geezer. Yeah, we did the work, right? Right, skating geezer. We did all the work. We had all the stress. We did all the work, and the officers took credit for it. Sunny. Stevie, JP, I'm not permitted to do so at my building. I'm not permitted to do so at my building. It's nice to be able to be comfortable with only one thing on your to-do list. Retired is awesome. I know, right? And JP's finding this out. I've always said it, man. Retirement is just awesome because to me, what retirement meant was freedom. Not having to answer to anyone anymore. That to me that is priceless. Not being the only reason you have to answer to somebody is you have to earn money. So if there's a way that you have money already, you have a pension, you're invested, you have big savings, you got 401k, whatever, however financially you can afford to retire, because many people now are retiring here in the Philippines. Not even Social Security age, not even 62, the minimum age for Social Security. Many people are here already in their 50s, and now I'm seeing more people in their 40s. James and Karen. James is in his 40s. There's just more and more younger people realizing that you don't have to wait 62, or 67. For me, 67 is full retirement age because I can already tell I'm 60 now, and I don't have the same energy, the same movement that when I was 45. I'm glad I was able to retire at 45 and got to do all kinds of fun things. Now I can just a light retirement. I don't have to do all the traveling, all the scuba diving, snorkeling, surfing. I don't have to do that anymore because I'm 60 now, man. I don't want to break any bones anymore. Derek, did you start your job at St. Mary's while on terminal leave? No, actually, while I was on terminal leave, I was still looking for a job, and they offered me a job at St. Mary's. I had a little break, at least. I retired in Japan November of 2003. My retirement date was actually March 1st. That's the terminal leave, is what Derek is saying. I had 3 or 4 months where I was retired in the military, I was collecting a paycheck. I was on terminal vacation, really. During that time, I was still looking for a job, and I took the job in Arizona at St. Mary's. My girlfriend in Antique, she burns trash. Sometimes I'm worried about her and her mom. I was going to recommend another alternative, but I guess that's just that's what they do in the province, man. Unfortunately, it's illegal. They have laws here that you're not supposed to burn trash, but the problem is nobody picks up your trash. So what are you going to do to the trash? You can only bury so much of your trash. There's not a place where you can take it and dump it. It's you don't want to get caught doing that. So a lot of people in the province, Aklan province, Capiz province, Iloilo province, Antique province, they burn trash. And when they burn trash, there's plastic, there's stuff like that, man. That can't be good to you. If you breathe that stuff's toxic, man. That's the thing. When you live in a gated community, nobody's doing stuff like that. We have HOA. You have to pay into the HOA. Ours is 400 pesos a month, $7 for our HOA to pick up our trash, to have security, to have gardeners here. Yeah, here in Aklan province, unfortunately, very common. Very common for burning it. I see it when I go out the community here. When I go out Camille Aklan on our tricycle on the way to the market, I see 2, 3 people burning trash all the time. It's like, it's unfortunate, but what are you going to do? It's the way they do things here. Yes, Gino, for me, I decided to go with the known here now and not waiting for the unknown future. My health now is a blessing, along with my discipline, exercise, and diet. I'm living for it, not exactly, man. So for me, man, I know, brother, you're blessed, brother. You know, you're in your 50s, you're retired here in the Philippines, you're watching your diet, you're exercising, you have the health. You know, you have the health because like people always like they think, you know, always people think that hey. I'll retire at 67, get my full Social Security. But man, at 67, man, there's a high chance that you're not going to be as healthy than earlier in your life, in your 50s. You know, like I've said many times, man, that check engine light, you know, that comes on, man. You know, sometimes at 60, sometimes even younger than 60, 55, that check engine light comes on. Next thing you know, you're spending more time in the hospital than anything, you know. So because you're putting that stress in your body still, working in the United. But I know, you know, some people, you know, it's like they feel like they have to have so much in order to retire because I think that's a problem in the U.S. is because they put it in our brain in the US that you need $500,000 or you need $1 million in the US to retire comfortably in the US, right? So to me, you know, it's like then maybe the US is not the place to retire. If you know, how many people can save $1 million or $500,000? You know, is that really realistic now? You know, I know people could do it, but you know, not many, not many. You know, so there's that option to go overseas and find a life in places like the Philippines, Thailand, Panama, Portugal. You know, a lot of places in the world that's less expensive than living in the United States. But like I said, if you can afford the U.S., I mean, it's still the best country to live. Best place to retire is the U.S. if you can afford it. You know, saying. How do you file your taxes now? Oh yeah, online. I use H&R Block I already got all my documents actually. I've already inputted it in H&R Block online is what I've used. I've used a different company before, but now I really like H&R Block. I pay like $50, I think, to file it online, get my refund in my bank in the US. Not a problem, not a problem at all. And I have to file because my only income is my military pension, and that's taxable. And now YouTube, my earnings in YouTube, which isn't much. I don't make a lot of money on YouTube, but that's still taxable. The Philippine women's national team secured. I saw that. Fortune always shares a lot of fun facts to me. You know, it's like. He's my information guy. You know, Fortune's always sports, anything Philippines. I'm always getting messages from Fortune. I love it, man, because we share the same interests. Would love to watch the Filipinas play soccer, Young Fresh. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be good for the Philippines for sure. Seattle. Living in a condo in the middle of a city like Iloilo, CDO, or Dumaguete. Too bad there's no condo in Boracay. There is a condo in Boracay. It's called Boracay New Coast. You can get I mean, it's not cheap, don't get me wrong, but it's nice. Man, Boracay New Coast is nice. You're on a golf course in Boracay New Coast with ocean view, walking distance to a private beach in Boracay. The range, a one-bedroom, fully furnished condo in Boracay New Coast. It will range from 30,000 pesos to 40,000 pesos, depending on the quality of the unit, because some units are like, man, they put plush furniture, some put basic furniture, so that's the big disparity in price. But for $500, you can live in Boracay in a condo, man, if you want to do that. Worth it. A friend of mine did it for a few months. Now he's in Puerto Galera because he likes trying different places in the Philippines. I highly recommend Boracay. I would live there if I can afford it. Now I would live at. As a matter of fact, if I get once I get my Social Security, that is one option that Dazzle and I are looking at, because I would love to live in Boracay, Nucos, man. I would pay rent, that high rent for Boracay, Nucos. You know me, man. My happy place on earth is Boracay Island, man. JP Bazelda, I filed my taxes with TurboTax. I have been using them for over 10 years, and it went right through. 3 weeks for my tax return. Yep. And the thing here in the Philippines, for people to know, I'll file my taxes before April 15th. Probably the first week of April is usually when I file my taxes. But because we live overseas and I use my address, my Philippine address, to file my taxes, we get an extra 3 months. Our deadline is not April 15th for us that are filing taxes here with a Philippine address. We get, so May, June, July. We get an extra 3 months deadline. But I always file it before April 15th because that's just habit. I want to make sure it's all squared away. I don't want the IRS messing with me. It's true in the barangays, goats wander about. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Right, Stevie? If you're living outside a gated community, don't be surprised if a goat, if a rooster, chickens, whatever animals will go to your property, and dogs will go to your property and poop. Cats will go in your property and poop. Could be aggravating, right? Because you're taking good care of your property, and all of a sudden you're like picking other people's poop. It's like their animal poop. That's the thing to consider when you're living outside a gated community. That's why I like the discipline here in a gated community. People, when we walk our dogs here, we have poopy bags. We carry poopy bags and we pick up our dog poop, because if you don't, you're a bad neighbor. You're a bad neighbor, right? It's like, but outside, when you're living outside, man, there's so many stray dogs. Dogs just poop everywhere outside here. Really, got dog everywhere. Trash is burned to be rid of it. Life is rustic and raw. However, barangay life is a it's a fabulous, for you, Stevie, it's a fabulous living, because I know how you are. You like the outdoors, you like fishing, you like camping, but not everybody's like that, Stevie. That's why you have to know what you like here in the Philippines. You have to understand yourself before you come here. Like, I like how Seattle was saying he prefers condo living. So that's good that you know that you like condo living. You like the convenience, like living in Illinois City. I have a friend that lives in a condo there. He's got a wife and 2 kids. He likes like going downstairs from his condo. He's got a 7-Eleven. Right across the street, there's a Starbucks. He likes his walking distance to SNR. So those kind of things, I can see that some people like that kind of luxury. Then you got people like Stevie that he likes the rustic. Stevie likes to be like, he wants to walk outside in the jungle, come out of his house and feels like a jungle setting, go to the water by the beach, start fishing, And the beauty of the Philippines, and you can have those different life here in the Philippines, is the Philippines offers so much, You just have to do your research. Ask me, it's like, Seattle, Washington there. He didn't think that there was condos in Boracay. There's condos in Boracay. They're building more condos in Boracay, actually. Mazelda, JP, okay, thanks for the info. Renz, Pag-asa, the Weather Bureau announced the end of amihan season. All right, so officially the summer. Once they announce that, it's officially summer. Oh, JP, I thought you meant I can sublet my place, though it's not permitted by. Yeah, I don't think you can sublet your place, Stevie. That would not be cool. That would not be cool to do, because Maricel rented it to you. You would have to ask permission from Maricel. That's not a thing to do here in the Philippines. I know stuff like that happens in the U.S., but here, when you're the renter, you have to ask permission from the owner if you want to sublet it. I bought a tank of gas for her 3,800 pesos. She says that's a high price, but I wanted to get it anyway due to the oil crisis. You think that's a fair price? Fair price? Gas. A tank of gas. 3,800. Is that in a vehicle or you got it like in a container? I know people that are doing that. I know there are people hoarding gasoline because you see trucks with like big plastic containers and they're buying gasoline, but I don't know what the tank of gas. Is it in the car or is it a metal tank? Metal tank. To me, it's too much hassle to do all that, man. It's like if I run out of gas, I'll be like Stevie. I'll be on my bike. I'll be on my bike going to the public market and getting my fruits and vegetables, man. Like I said, the fruits, vegetables, seafood, they're gonna start coming to us here in our community. At the guard shack, in front of the guard shack, people are gonna start selling. And then the sari-sari stores got stuff. Right beside 7-Eleven, those little stalls there. They're going to start selling chicken there. They're going to start selling fish there because there's over 300 people here in our community, over 300 homes. So, it's a good sell. You can sell a lot of stuff here. Homeowner association dues are sometimes not enforced in same thing here. It's horrible, man. It's like half of the people here don't pay their HOA, their homeowners association fee. That's why, our community would be a lot better if people would pay their HOA, but I don't get into that. It's like I'll pay mine, and I'll worry about myself. I don't worry about other people. If they don't want to pay their dues, it's their problem. I did mean sublet. I was thinking about asking you, but it's okay. I will survive. I keep my place permanently year-round, though we aren't allowed to do that. Yeah, you're not, sublet is not a thing here. Just because, you can see the problem with that here, JP, because Stevie, I know Stevie, Maricel's my friend. I recommended Stevie there. If he sublets it to somebody else, that person can trash the place. You won't. I know you won't do it, but we would have to ask Maricel first. Understand? I have to admit, I was jealous of your fishing opportunities up there. Young, fresh. Delta Airlines will start flying nonstop. LAX. I saw that. I know there's I think Philippine Airlines. I want to say Philippine Airlines. We're going to fly straight from Manila to Chicago. I was like, Manila to Chicago nonstop. That's a long flight, man. Tell me about it. My health went in my 40s. I have medical coverage, but just can't afford to go do much. I tell people, enjoy life. Right, Lowell, and that's the same thinking. I know Michael S. He become my brother from another. He's got the same thinking. Right now, he's in perfect health. He can do a lot of walking. He could do watch his diet, exercise. But you just never know, man. That that check engine light can come on at any time. You can be the healthiest person, man. Look at me. When I was my whole military career, I never got any surgery, never broke anything, never got sick, never spent a day getting admitted in the hospital. I worked in the hospital. I had all the immunizations being a hospital employee, hepatitis, anthrax even. I had all that. Super healthy coming out of the military. Super healthy when I got here. It's like I never spent a day in the hospital, even here in the Philippines. Then all of a sudden, boom, I was 56 years old, diagnosed with cancer. It's like, you just never know. It's like, enjoy it while you can, because don't put it off. Don't put it off to just because you want more money, thinking that, I'll wait till I'm 67. Man, how many good years do you really have at 67? Can you travel at 67? Can you do stuff at 67? The average male is like 76. So 67, you only got 9 years. 9 years to enjoy life, man. And really, are you going to really enjoy life at 67? How's your body going to be at 67? Are you going to be able to take those tours or vacations where you got to be climbing up mountains and things like that, JP asked Bro Ginno for my email. I should mention stuff about the availability of angling here at my place. Not actually ideal until I found out more. All right, I'll forward your information to JP, Stevie. Boracay is literally like rated the top beach in the world. And it is, for me, that's always, that my first 18 months of retirement here was spent in Boracay. It's always been, always will be, my happiest place on earth is Boracay Island. I know people say, it's too touristy, too crowded and all that, but I don't get to experience the tourist. I'm not trapped as a tourist because I'm more a local. I understand the dynamic in Boracay. I can find a good place. That place in Diniwi Beach. Last year, Dazzle and I spent a furnished studio apartment, 5-minute walk to Diniwi Beach. 1 month, we rented it, 20,000 pesos, $325, to be 5 minutes to the beach for a whole month, fully furnished, free Wi-Fi even, it's like, I can find places like that in Boracay Island. I don't have to eat at all the fancy tourist restaurants. I can eat at Carinderia. I can go to the public market in Boracay, and Dazzle and I can cook our own food at the studio apartment, so we don't spend as much as a tourist in Boracay. And then we know the places in Boracay where all the tourists are. Most of your tourists are going to be on White Beach, right? But if you go to the other beaches, like if you go to Iligan Beach in Boracay, hardly anybody is there. And Puka Beach is becoming more popular. More people are going there. But there are many beaches in Boracay, like the beach by the Keyhole, by ferries and Blue Water, by Boracay Nucos. You can access those beach even though you're not staying at that place. They'll let you access that beach. But a lot of people stay on White Beach, because all the action is on White Beach. Howdy, Ginno, my Ellen, my good friend in Texas. Happy Sunday from Texas. Happy Monday in the Philippines. All right. Hey, Colonel. Hey, Colonel. Hello. Morning, Colonel. God bless. Hey, Brother Ginno Pinay Heart from Oceanside, California. Elna and I rented a condo in Boracay. Yeah, Nucos, right there. Thank you. Somebody else was mentioning if there was a condo in Boracay. It's like, it was nice for the price. I think we paid $38 per night in the low season. Pretty good price, man. $40 to be in a condo in Boracay Island. Come on, man. That is like cheap to purchase a condo. Yeah, it's still about 8 million. If you want to purchase the condo, it's still about, the starting price is still about 8 million. Mazelda, health insurance. I'm military. I'm United States military retired, Mazelda. For Dazzle and I, we are covered by TRICARE. TRICARE is a United States military insurance in the United States. We pay, for Dazzle and I, both of us, $400 a year is our medical insurance here in the Philippines. Good to know there is extended deadline filing overseas. Thank you so much for answering all my questions. All right, Mazelda, be happy. That's what I do, man. That's why I tried. I don't have all the answers. That's why I got fortune. That's why I got fortune here, because I don't have all the answers. But if I don't have the answers, I will find out the answer for you. JP says, "Hello, Colonel. Unreal, right? 8 million peso is only 138,000 for luxury." Oh yeah, man, Boracay Nucos, man, that is luxury. Yeah. To me, that's like that's the high end of luxury here in Aklan province, you know. I mean, you're living in a golf course. You got swimming pool in your compound, you know, in your building. There's a swimming pool, there's a gym, you got a view of the ocean, you got a private beach. You're walking distance to 7-Eleven, to restaurants. They're building more shops in that area. And like I said, man, once I get my Social Security, man, you might see me living in Boracay, Nucos. Young Fresh, in a container so she could, to cook. So to cook, man. Because usually when people to cook, Young Fresh, they use propane, you know. I don't. I have an electric. I have a 1-burner electric. I don't like propane, you know. It's like but usually it's propane that they buy to cook. If maybe cooking oil, if it's cooking oil in a container, 3,000, that's a lot of cooking oil. But I do know they use a lot of cooking oil here. I tried telling her to get induction cooker instead of cooking gas. So it's a propane tank. Yeah, the propane tank, I could imagine, are going up in prices here too. I don't use it, so I can't tell you how much a propane tank. Like I said, I have like an electric. We had an induction stove before. Same thing, 1 burner. The problem with induction stove, you gotta buy a specific the skillet or the cookware. It doesn't all work with the induction stove. That's why that electric one is one of those coil things. So that's cheap. I think I paid like $20 for that. So if it breaks, I'll just buy a new one. Instead of cooking, good point. Before asking, make sure you have the proper induction pots. We are still looking into that option. Yeah, most people here in the province, they either cook with propane tank or wood or charcoal. Have an outdoor kitchen. That's popular option here too. Where are you? I'm in the Philippines. Numancia, Aklan in Western Visayas in the Philippines. Hey Ray, my brother in Sacramento, California. Good morning, my brother, and to all viewers. We have been having an heat wave. Man, I'm expecting a heat wave here. Man, look at the sun right now here, man. Let me just show you guys, man. It is bright. It is like super bright and sunny. Blue skies, man. It's gonna be in the night. It's gonna get April and May here in the Philippines is absolutely the hottest time of the year here. If you want a nice vacation though, that you won't worry about typhoons, you don't have to worry about rain. If you come here April and May, guaranteed you're gonna get nothing but sunshine. It's like a heat wave, you know, drought conditions almost. I walk to the Palenque and Sari regularly because I don't have a... Yeah, right, Stevie? So you were walking to the Katiklan Public Market. Boracay condos. Here I come. There you go, Shia. But wait, I need TRICARE and Costco and SM Malls as my neighbor, my kapitbahay. Okay, so for you, Iloilo City is what I would recommend for you. Since you're looking for condo living, you want TRICARE, Medical City Iloilo's got TRICARE. Costco, you got SNR there, and SM Mall. Iloilo City, perfect for you, brother. Perfect here. You still get, you know, in Iloilo City, you're only 15 minutes away by ferry. You can, from whatever condo you live, you just take a taxi, grab to like where the ferry in Iloilo City goes out, maybe a 15, 20-minute taxi ride, and then the ferry to Guimaras Island, 15-minute ferry to Guimaras Island. You got white sand beaches, man. So you got that option. You got that option in Iloilo City. Peanut Butter Travels here. Hey, Peanut Butter Travels. Hey, Sal. Hello, Sal. Good morning. I'm 63, still doing hardcore island hopping, my friend. Yeah, I see you, man. And I'm happy for you that you're still doing hardcore island hopping. But I'm sure at 63, you're not traveling as well as you did when you were 45. I'm sure that plane ride, that long plane rides, sitting on that long plane ride, just doesn't, it's not as comfortable as it was when you were 45 years old. I'm not saying, we all get that check engine light at a certain point. Maybe your check engine light is at 70, and I'm happy for you. But like I said, most people, that check engine light comes on 60 or earlier. What's up, Gino, Emilio? Hey, Emilio. Captain Ron. Any good news, Pinay Heart, with you and your family? The condo is finished. The condo is finished. Stevie, the beach at Boracay is surreal experience. I know, right? I know, right? It's like for me, I've traveled many beaches in the Philippines. To me, nothing comes close to Boracay. People always say, oh, this place is the Boracay of the North, or this is mini Boracay. Nothing compares to me anyway. Boracay Island, to me, it doesn't get any better than a white beach in Boracay. The sand is pure white. The water is clean, crystal clear. It's shallow to you, 50 yards out, right? You're 50 yards out from the beach and it's still shallow. It's still like waist high. That's a all sandbar. You're not stepping on coral. You're not stepping on rocks. The beach is many miles long, international vibe. Yeah, right. To me, it's got everything I want on the beach, I never had the incentive to travel many miles all across the Philippines just to see a beach, because I'm like an hour and 15 minutes away to the best beach in the world. Why would I torture myself to travel to other beaches, man? In the Army, I was master fitness instructor. Ooh, wow. All right. There you go. Ran 10, 15 miles. 20. Oh, yeah. Same with me, man. Like I said, during the pandemic, pandemic is only like 5 years ago, right, Daniel? I was running 5, 10Ks almost every day. There was nothing to do. So I was just running around here in the subdivision. During the day in the sun, I was running here. People thought I was crazy, but I was like, I've always been super fit my whole life, man. So, but again, it can change in an instant. One diagnosis, one thing can change your life, So to me, while you're healthy, while you're able, do everything that you can, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. It's like you might be super healthy today, but tomorrow one visit to the doctor, one diagnosis, just like me, I got the diagnosis, head and neck cancer, stage 3. I had to go to chemo treatments. I had to go to radiation treatments, But now I'm still living, man. I'm still alive, back to walking, riding bicycle, swimming. It's like trying to do more. But life can change in an instant. After 2 injuries, my world went from exactly, right, Daniel? I mean, it's like I could imagine, like a master fitness instructor. I know you were a beast. Man, you were a beast working out. Dazzle used to call me a beast working out, man. And when I was 45 years old, when I landed in Boracay, and then I went to school in Calibo, my classmates thought I was crazy, because like in Calibo, I would run like early in the morning, sometimes midday, we don't have class. I would run all around Calibo. I would run like 5-10 kilometers easy, but that's how it is. It's like we all age. We all of a sudden can't do the things that we used to be able to do, and that's okay. For me, that's okay. It's like at least I got to experience life already. Like I said, if I croak dead tomorrow, I've done everything I wanted in my life. It's like I came to the Philippines. I got to live in Boracay Island for 18 months. I was like mountain biking. I was island hopping here in the Philippines on my mountain bike, riding everywhere here in Panay Island on my mountain bike. So many waterfalls, so many rivers. I experienced life because I still could. at 45, and even up to like 55. For 10 years I was able to do that, but now I can't. I understand. I can't do that. I can't climb up mountains now, and that's okay because at least I had 15 good years where I was able to do those things. And looking back, no regrets at all. It's like, to me, most people that have regrets are the people that wait too long. The people that I talk to here, I talk to many retirees. They all tell me, man, I should have retired in the Philippines a long time ago. It's like, I should have done this 5-10 years ago. I could have been living life already instead of waiting because I was worried that I didn't have enough money. Or, a lot of times you'll find out once you're retired, your expenses are going to be less. Material things once you're retired doesn't mean the same anymore. Like for me, it's like a new laptop, new phone, don't mean nothing to me. It's like, I'm not going to waste my money on that. To me, it's the experiences in life that I'm looking for. The happiness that I can provide to Dazzle, Leanne, and Mom. That's what I enjoy. Same thing in Hawaii. All beaches require public access. Yeah, same thing. Here they say it's private, but it's the ocean. Nobody can own the ocean. Right? They'll say it's a private beach, but I've accessed private beaches in Boracay. Nobody's ever told me to leave that I can't access the beach. Nice cooking oil here, so bad. Ugh. Yeah, one thing I've given up is the fried chicken. I don't eat fried chicken anymore if I can control it. It's like, but fried foods, I'm like staying away from fried foods. JP, in the province, electricity will be interrupted often, and they will be back cooking with wood. Yeah, our backup, we do have a one burner with the butane tank. That's our backup. But most of the time when the power goes out, we just wait till the power goes back on to cook. Yeah, most of the power outage here in Numancia anyway, it doesn't last more than a few hours. And the ones that are scheduled, they'll last all day, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. At least you can plan around that. You can plan around. The unscheduled ones, usually they only last a few hours here. But I'm expecting more power outages here during this summer because of the oil crisis. That's going to play into it, because a lot of the electricity here runs on diesel and gasoline. So there's going to be a electricity shortage here too. That's going to be happening for sure. Is that condo you're talking about near the ocean? Yeah, it's you can from the condo, my friend's condo. I filmed it. If you watch the video on my Boracay playlist, you can see the ocean from his condo. He's got a balcony. You can see the ocean. You can see the beach from his balcony. JP, Ginno has a ton of Iloilo videos on his playlist. Watch at your own risk. You'll be hooked on Iloilo. Exactly, right? Yeah, that's why I do the playlist. I got over 100 videos of Boracay. I think I got close to 50 videos of Iloilo City. So if you're interested in those areas, watch my videos. Watch my videos. Then, now after time in Lunsdale, Walter Reed, years of treatment, endless years of therapy, I am just grateful. Thank you, right? Thank you, Dan. I'm the same way, man. So, I was an athlete most of my life. I ran cross country when in high school in Long Beach, Wilson High. 20 years in the military. I was always in great shape. That fitness test in the Air Force was a joke to me. I ran all the time. I retired. I still ran. Came here. I was a runner. I was a cyclist. All of my life, I've always been an athlete. And now I just accept it. I'm 60 now. I'll be 60 in a couple of months. I'm no longer an athlete. There's limitations now to me. So I'm glad I got to enjoy all that stuff, experience all that. If I had waited till I was 62 or 67 to retire, from 45 to 62, I would have given up those good years where I could, I can still get around. Not that I can't do things. I can still do push-ups. I can still do sit-ups. I can still walk. I'm getting my wind back. Hopefully here, my health will get better. Hopefully, physically, I'll get stronger here in the next few years. But haha, cracking up on check engine light. After 40 years with the Navy and Post Office, my check engine light went on at 19 years old. Yeah, well, it's the fact though, right? It's Sal, it's like for all of us. Maybe there's some people that are blessed that their check engine light will never come on, but unfortunately, for most, that check engine light comes on, For most, when we hit our 50s, you're going to need like all these medical tests all of a sudden, right? You're going to need a colonoscopy. You're going to need like MRIs. You're going to need you're going to need all these tests all of a sudden. Check your heart. Make sure an echocardiogram. Stuff you never had to worry in your 20s, 30s, or 40s. But unfortunately, once you start feeling a tightness in your chest, they're going to run like 100 tests on you in the hospital. And then all of a sudden, that new skin, the doctor could be like, oh, well, you've got this condition now. Now you get, you got to do, it's like, to me, man, it's best to enjoy everything in your life while you still can, Don't put off retirement if all you're worried about is money. You have a lot of people, they don't realize they have enough money. My friend from Rhode Island, he's now retired here in the Philippines for 3 years. He says the same thing to me. He says, man, he's my age. He's not even collecting Social Security, but he said, I could have done this years ago because he had a good pension. He had 401. He got money saved. He could have, but again, in the U.S., the thinking in the U.S. is you got to have like $500,000 or $1 million to retire. It's like you don't have enough money. They always try to convince America you don't have enough money to retire. Derek, did they call you a gym rat? I was not much of like a gym rat, Derek. Like I never got into weights. I did a little bit of weights, but not heavy. I've always been tall. I'm 5'10". I've always been lean. My ideal weight, I'm usually 150 to 155 at 5'10". That's always been my weight throughout my life. Now I'm at like 145. But I've always been lean. I've always been a runner. I've always been a cyclist. I've always been a swimmer. But I did play basketball. Yeah, I played basketball. I love basketball. Clearwater Beach in Florida has white sand. However, the people are there like ants on sugar. Like ants on sugar. A lot of people. See, in Boracay, people think, yeah, there's a lot of people that go to Boracay Island. And then you see videos and photos of Boracay at sunset, right? On White Beach, how many people are on White Beach during sunset? That's the most you'll see people out there. Because in Boracay, when you go to Boracay, during the morning, especially in the afternoon, from like 12 noon to like sunset, nobody's on Front Beach, man. The only people on Front Beach are the foreigners that's trying to bake in the sun. They're trying to get the tan. They're laying out in the sun. Filipinos don't lay out in the sun, man. Filipinos don't like to get dark. Filipinos hide from the sun. It's like you won't see many Filipinos, like even on Front Beach, Boracay, laying out there, putting oil in themselves, cooking themselves right there on Front Beach. That's not what Filipinos do, man. Filipinos during the heat, during the sun in Boracay, they're going to be in air condition. They're going to be taking a nap. They're not going to go out to Front Beach to like sunset or early in the morning, like at 5 a.m. The minute even before sunrise, there's already Filipinos swimming. Filipinos swimming on White Beach because they do not like to get dark here in the Philippines. Man, they got all these whitening products there. That would be a waste of their whitening products. They got whitening lotion, whitening soap, They got glutathione pills. They got injection to like make themselves white. You know, that would ruin their attempt to get white. I don't live in Boracay though. Too expensive. What's 50 pesos in barangay is, oh, for sure, for sure. I have to agree. You know, it is not cheap to live in Boracay. Like, even if for me, 2 years from now, if Dazzle and I decides to live in Boracay, Nucos, like I said, you're gonna be paying about $500 a month for a 1-bedroom condo there. We can live pretty frugal because there's groceries there. There's public market. We know in Boracay there's Talipapa is where the tourists go. They remodeled it. Gonna open here really soon where they do paluto, where you show the seafood, cook it any way you want. That's where the tourists go. But it's called Talipapa Bukid, where the locals go. You know, the cheaper price produce, the cheaper price seafood is where the locals go, because locals in Boracay, you're not gonna pay like the tourist price there. Let's go climb Mount Fuji. I did. I climbed Mount Fuji, man, back in before 9/11. This is when I climbed Mount Fuji with my people in Misawa Air Base. Seattle, Washington. I don't think I can climb Mount Fuji now. I'm not in that fitness level anymore. That's my reality now. Even like Mount Majas here in Panay Island, James has been trying to talk me into climbing. I just don't have the endurance anymore. The chemo treatments and radiation, one of the things is it's weakened my endurance. That's why even jogging, I get winded just jogging. So there's no way I could do climbing mountains anymore. And that's my new normal. And I've accepted that because I'm just happy to be alive. I survived 12 chemo treatments and 33 radiation treatments. I'm just happy, like I'm in still one piece. I have all kinds of side effects from the chemo treatments and the radiation. It is what it is. It kept me alive. Hopefully a few more years I'll be alive, but I'm just thankful to be alive. I know I'm not the same person that I was before my treatments. It's all good, you know. I'm still grateful to God. I'm still thankful to be I still pray to God every day that, hey, thank you for giving me a second chance in life. Guimaras Island. Don't forget, Bro Ginno, Mango Festival. May 15th. I'm going to be in Iloilo City in April because I have to do my monitoring. I have to do MRI every 6 months, and I do it in Iloilo. I make my run at SNR Run. So I'm thinking of including a visit to Guimaras during that time. But I don't think far enough to May. You know? Like I'm planning April, so I don't think I might make it in April. If I miss the Mango Festival, that's okay. I'm sure I can find me I just want to try the mango pizza. I'm sure somebody's making, even without the festival, somebody's got to be making mango pizza at Guimaras Island. Because that's what they're known for now. You know, not just the regular mango to get the mangoes, but they're known for like the mango pizza now. For me to retire. Not too far. Yeah, not too far from Boracay. Actually, they're gonna build it's like a highway from Iloilo City to Boracay, where once the highway it's an elevated highway that they're gonna build. I mean, a few years down the road here, and everything takes time here, but it's gonna cut the travel time from Iloilo City to Caticlan and Boracay to 2 hours. You know, they're gonna build that super highway. Morning, bro, Michael C, my brother in Trece Martyrs in Cavite. Yes, JP, the sand of the Gulf America is whiter and like powder. I've been to like Florida. I've seen like the white. I mean, they do have white sand, right? They're amazing beaches in Florida. Derek, I saw a guy on the Philippine Life. That Philippine Michael Smith, yeah, and Kat. in his 30s is working remotely. Yeah, many people. Many people are doing that. My friend Jamal, he's in Dumaguete City. He's online. He's a lot of digital nomads now. That's why now I'm seeing more and more young people here in the Philippines. Guys in their 30s, guys in their 40s, either digital nomad. I don't know, I don't know where they're getting their money or whatever, but they're here. They're here and they're staying here. They're staying here. They're not. It's not like they're on vacation or anything. Me too. I don't fry stuff. Even seed oils are scary. I just use water in the kawali or pot. The natural oils of the natural oils. Yeah. I do buy extra virgin cooking oil, and then mom and them, they buy the local palm oil or cheap oil here. But I don't eat the stuff that they eat. It's like they're used to that. It's like they like frying fish. Mom, Dazzle, and Leanna, they like fried tilapia. I'm not a big fried food eater anymore. Even in the USA, seeds oil are scary. Try coconut oil, though. It's okay. Canola oil was developed to provide lubrication machinery in World War II. When petroleum was scarce, then all those producing it started selling it for human consumption to make a new market. I think here we buy palm oil, the coconut oil or palm oil is what they use. I don't use it. I hardly eat any fried food, like I said. Most of what I eat granola. I eat oatmeal for breakfast. Fruits. I put fruits in there. I make my own whole oats. I boil whole oats. During the day, I eat a lot of salad. I have a lettuce, cucumber, tomato, and onion. That's kind of my go-to salad for lunch. That's why, for me, the problem with me is like I'm having a hard time gaining weight. It's like I'm having, for me to maintain 145, as you can see, man, I don't have a lot of meat on me. 145, I have a hard time, man, because I'm watching what I eat. It's like I'm controlling sugar. I'm not using a lot of sugar, so it's hard for me to gain weight. There's not many food where when you're eating it, if you're watching your diet or you're eating healthy, that will gain you weight. But it is what it is. It's like, I guess it's not a priority. My doctor says I'm okay at my weight. So I flew over Mount Fuji on the way to the Philippines. I was just okay. I was just, Mount Fuji is no joke to climb, man. That's not current. Amen, Ginno. Just happy to be alive. Grateful to God. Amen. Amen, my brother, right? It's like you get to experience what I experienced for 4 months of cancer treatments, and you just become grateful. It's like everything else doesn't matter. Everything else, you realize when you get sick and you're in the hospital for like 4 months doing treatments, you just want to get healthy. And then once you're out of the hospital, every single day you're just grateful that I'm able to walk. I'm able to walk my morning walk. I'm grateful I get to watch the sunrise. Phil, where is the Gulf of America? Where is the Gulf of America? It used to be called the Gulf of Mexico, but President Trump now calls it the Gulf of America. Joe Cano, coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil, or I do buy the extra virgin oil, but mostly I put it on my salad. And I like to dip bread on it. It's like if I get like a toasted bread, I like dipping it on extra virgin oil, olive oil. Emilio, how to get to Guimaras? Is there a beach? Oh yeah, plenty. It's a whole island of beaches, man. So from Iloilo City, Emilio, you just go to the ferry, the terminal. You just take a Grab, take a taxi. Tell them, hey, I want to go to Guimaras Island. So they'll take you to the ferry, kind of like Caticlan, going to Boracay. And then it's a 15-minute ferry ride to Guimaras Island. And once you get to Guimaras Island, there's resorts. There's, you can, if you got a motorbike, you can even rent a motorbike in Iloilo. Take the motorbike with you. That way you can travel more in Guimaras Island. But when you get to Guimaras Island, they got tricycles there. You can select the resort, the beach that you want to visit in Guimaras Island. Eventually, there's going to be a bridge. The last thing I checked, they were going to start construction. They were supposed to start construction this year, but it got delayed to July 2027. They're going to start the. They've done all the surveys. They've done all the. I guess were the initial point in Iloilo City to Guimaras Island. So eventually, there's going to be a bridge from Iloilo to Guimaras, from Guimaras Island to Bacolod. That's a big project that's going to be done here in Panay Island. MAGA way of referring, yeah, MAGA way, yeah, that's what it's referred to. LOL, Joe. MAGA way of, yeah, Gulf of Mexico. iPad freezing up, double posting. Oh, no worries, Joe Cano. Ginno, leaving to Cali in a couple of days. We'll be back Okinawa, Chiba this summer. Planning Taipei, Iloilo for New Year's. Maybe it's time to visit Ginno. Yeah, anytime, man. You know, I'm not going anywhere. I'm always here, right? I'm always in Aklan. And Aklan, Boracay, this is my Panay Island is my stomping grounds. And coconut oil is great to use. And most is organic. Low, and there's plenty of it. Plenty of coconut oil here in the Philippines. That's why easy to buy here. The only real fried food that I anymore is when I try beef and I use organic beef tallow. Oh, okay, all right then. Yeah, you know, we're all trying to eat healthy, right? You know, it's like the objective is like trying to extend our life and not have all these illnesses that hit us. Oh, I know Yokosuka, Atsugi, man. Navy. I know those are the Navy. I was stationed at Misawa, and Misawa Air Base in northern Japan. It was a joint base with the Navy. That's why I had a lot of U.S. Navy friends. I learned a lot about the Navy during that assignment because the rank, the way the Navy does things. Summertime is the best to climb that mountain. On top of Mount Fuji, there's a Japanese for souvenirs. Joe Cano, a fam. Can't keep living in the past, brother. Times are changing. Is Social Security in America a government payment based on age, or is it something self-funded during working year? It's self-funded. The Social Security that I will get at age 62, it would be bigger. It would be 30% bigger if I wait till 67, but I plan on collecting at 62. It's based on your earnings when you were earning in the United States. You put money into, they take money out of your paycheck. So the more you make, the more you put in it, the bigger your Social Security is at age 62. The average Social Security is about $1,700. It's the average Social Security that people get. Boat Stone Cold. After all the talk about mango pizza, I think I'm going to make some mango empanadas. Man, JP, Dazzle was like, she was so disappointed. We went to the food fest right there by the 19 martyrs in Calibo, the shrine by the Salakot. They have a food fest going on there, and they had Ilocos empanada. Man, those Ilocos empanada are delicious. We went there at 1 p.m., the Dazzle and I, and they were closed still, and they were going to open at sunset. So Dazzle, Leanna, and Mom, they went back. They rode a tricycle, and they ran out. They ran out of the empanada, man, the Ilocos empanada. Dazzle was so disappointed. She came home here. She said, "Oh, babe, they ran out of empanadas." So I think we're going to try again today. Ilocos empanada, JP, is popular here. Ilocos is in Luzon, a province in Luzon, and their empanadas, to me, they're the best empanadas. So I'm sure this one is not going to be like the original empanada in Ilocos, but it will have to do. I do like the Ilocos empanada, so hopefully we can get some Ilocos empanada today. In USA, here I drink a shot glass of virgin olive oil made in Italy every other day. I see many people doing that. It intrigues me. It intrigues me, but I haven't tried that. I haven't tried that. Right now, I'm drinking this thing, man. This is supposed to be herbal, and it says lymphatic drainage liquid drops. It's supposed to help my immune system and cell regeneration. It's like a drop. So I put it. I've got a couple of these. I've been drinking this for a while. I don't know how much help it's given me, but it's supposed to be herbal. Supposed to be herbal. What are the ingredients of this thing? It's supposed to have like a what is it? Echinacea or something like that. Yeah, right there. Echinacea. Mostly herbs. And then I'm also taking this. I don't take any prescription medicine. Not a single one. Not a single prescription. My doctor, my nephrologist, recommended this neuropathy tablet. So vitamins. Basically, it's vitamins for neuropathy. Because when I had my radiation treatments, a lot of my lymphatic system in my neck or something, it's not firing on all cylinders. So hopefully this thing will help. Also got this sour soup. I guess sour soup is the gummies, sour soup gummies. I also have the powder. They're like sour guyabano leaves. I have the powder. I put it on my drinks, on my smoothies. So I'm trying to do whatever will help me. I stopped taking the protein shakes because protein's not good for me because of my kidneys. Because of the chemo, it damaged my kidneys, so I have to be careful with protein. But so far so good. All my lab work that I do every month, so far everything is within standards. Emilio, so I can stay in a nice condo in Iloilo then? Oh, for sure, man. You can stay, there's a nice condominium, One Madison, right across Festive Mall. You can nice Airbnbs for like $35, $40 a night. There's several condos in Iloilo City. The Colonel, yes, the Colonel says, yes, I'm back. Juliana, you're back. All right. Man, the comments has been going. I haven't even hit some of my topics. I never even got to talk about my topic. I'm already over 2 hours, man. But thank you for all the comments. Thank you for the communication. It's like all the questions. I love it. I love that everybody's participating. That's so awesome. Bro Ginno, the Iloilo Guimaras construction bit will start July 2026. According to funded, it got postponed. It got postponed. It was supposed to start this year, but I saw the article, that it got postponed to next year, and that's expected. It's on Filipino time. It's on Filipino time. Even the construction, it is sponsored by the Korean. The Koreans are helping funding it, but it's gonna take a while. Everything here the only company that really is on time here is San Miguel, because San Miguel Corporation, when they build the bridge, highway, terminal, airport, ferry, you name it, they're on top of it because they're in it for profit. San Miguel, when they build something, it's on time because they want to get it in place and start charging people. But the government projects, they always take if it's a estimated time of completion is 2028, don't look for it until 2029 or 2030. Add another year or two when it's a government project. Pinoy family in Florida. All right, Pinoy family in Florida. Colonel Ginno, you're getting older when you drop your Copico Blanco pouch and it flies all over. It all flies all over the floor. Unfortunately, that's another thing, right? I used to be super coordinated. I have great balance. I still can skateboard. That's one thing I haven't given up. I still have my skateboard. I can still ride a skateboard, but I'm not as athletic as I used to be, for sure. Dazzle used to like, she used to be amazed by me, Colonel, because like even in the kitchen, sometimes, something will fall on the shelf or something, and I just catch it. My reflexes have always been good, that way. And she go, Dazzle always tell, man, you're a ninja. You're a ninja. You can throw stuff at me and I'll catch it. Everything was like, I've always been coordinated that way. But now, unfortunately, it's not the same dynamic anymore. Gino, do you have an air fryer? It's good appliance. We had one at one time, but it broke, and then we never bought another one. We bought, I think it was a gift. It was a gift for us, and I'm just too frugal, man. It's like I'm like, no, I'm good. It's like I'm not gonna buy another one. Good appliance to have to be able to enjoy food that's traditionally oil fried. Yeah, we had one at one time, but our basic appliance, you can practically see all of it. We have a one burner electric right there, the kettle pot, the rice cooker, microwave, and a toaster. That is all we got. That is all we got. We don't have anything past that. We do have an oven. We did bought a bigger oven, but that's it. We don't have a lot of gadgets or appliances. We're like low tech. Emil, I don't know why Filipino always running out of food. They're selling. That should be their opportunity to make a lot of money once their product is in demand. Here in the province, I think a lot of it, Emilio, the locally sourced, the ones that are here in the province, or like in Numancia in the public market, I can count on everything, like potatoes, carrots, celery, cabbage. I can expect those because they're locally sourced. But the other items that have to come from somewhere else, like from another island, like the fruits that are not like common here, like broccoli. Broccoli's not common here because broccoli grows on like cooler climate. They do sell broccoli here in Numancia, but man, they're pathetic looking. It's like usually the broccoli is all stem, like a long stem and like a little bulb, because broccoli they grow well on cooler climate. So they grow well in Baguio. So Baguio is known for cauliflower, broccoli. That's where Baguio is known. So if you can imagine, if they got to ship it over here to us, it takes a while. It'll be more expensive here. So a lot of it, the reason why a lot of food is not always available is the shipment. I can even imagine it happens to like, even that's why sometimes Jollibee here runs out of chicken, or McDonald's runs out of burgers, or whatever, certain products, because they have to come from probably Manila or Cebu City. They have to ship it here to Iloilo City. Then they gotta truck it here to Calibo. It's the ones that aren't locally sourced. Like empanada, you're talking about, like empanada. Yeah, I think this one, the Ilocos empanada, they just advertise it as Ilocos empanada, but I'm sure it's not from Ilocos. I'm sure they took that Ilocos recipe and make their own. They make their own empanada, and I'm sure they didn't plan. They didn't plan on how many customers. There was Dazzle filmed the video last night. There's a lot of people, man. A lot of people were hungry, man. A lot of people wanted the Ilocos empanada. Shekel fan, hey, good morning, Shekel fan. Long time no see. I haven't seen you in the live stream. I do see you sometimes making comments on the videos. Thank you for joining the live. Wow, Gino, you pointed your kitchen appliance perfectly like a weatherman. Yeah, well, there's not much. There's not much to point, man. I don't have any. Like I said, man, we live like really frugal. Our house, it's only 430 square feet, and I kind of like when that, it used to be just Dazzle and I living here. And we always kind of had the mentality, almost kind of like the van life, because Dazzle and I, we've always wanted to do the van life. So we actually made our house like the van life. Everything small, everything compact, no big appliances or anything like that. Seattle, bro, it's time to modify your bicycle. You need to add training wheels on your bicycle. Yeah. I still got good balance. Now, I'm not there yet. I can still ride the bike. I can still ride my skateboard, man. I still have pretty decent balance still. Bright. I do have a helmet. I have a yellow helmet now. And it's not, it's a good helmet too. It's like my skateboard helmet and my bicycle helmet. And Dazzle put a light on it, like a headlight and a light on the back. But I rarely ride at night, man. I'm usually in bed by 8 p.m. So I don't really, even in the neighborhood here. Usually by sunset, I'll ride a little bit on my skateboard or my bicycle. Stay awesome, people. God bless. Thank you, Balloos. Thank you, Balloos. I like potatoes, onions, green pepper, fried up together with hot chilies using pork fat. Ooh, nice, man. The biggest broccoli I ever grew, Fairbanks, Alaska. It was amazing. Cooler. Yeah, you need cooler temperatures to grow broccoli. That's why when I go to the public market here, man, their broccoli they're selling me, Colonel, it's like a big stump and like a little bulb on top. But I still buy it because that it got a lot of fiber on that. And then I cut it and I make soup out of it. It's what I make soup. Make broccoli soup. Have you tried the menu on Virgie's Cake Out? Oh yeah, I mean Virgie's is right here by us, in front of Liana School, Numancia Integrated School. Their pizza is just okay. To me, it lacks sauce. Their pizza, not enough sauce in it, not enough cheese a lot of times. Let me see. I like their mango shake. They do have good mango shake. What else? Their burgers okay, but for burger I prefer Coffee Digest. Coffee Digest, I think in Numancia, it's got the best burger. The spaghetti at Virgie's. If you like Pinoy spaghetti, they have Pinoy spaghetti where it's got ground. I want to say it's ground pork or ground beef and hot dog. The typical Filipino spaghetti is decent. It's decent. I just make my own spaghetti. Dazzle cooks me the noodles. I have the spaghetti bolognese tomato sauce is what I prefer. The Pinoy spaghetti is too sweet for me. Sound good, Sunny. That's Stevie. Sunny Stevie. Thanks, Colonel. Guys, have a great day. All right, I'm gonna end the live stream here too because I've overextended. I got to talking, and then thank you for the comments, everybody. Appreciate. Thank you. Go to morning stream. God bless. God bless, my brother. Have a good day. I'll catch you on your next live stream. Your next live stream. Whenever I see broccoli, I think about Dr. Seuss books. Drawings. Dazzle's favorite. That's why we always buy broccoli because that's Dazzle's favorite. Stay safe, bro, from Seattle, Washington. Panay Posse, everyone. Stay safe. All right. Stay healthy. Fun at work for those who is working. All right. I bought tender, juicy hot dog, and they are too sweet to eat. Yeah, Dazzle and Liana doesn't like tender, juicy hot dogs either. Have a good morning, Colonel. All right, everyone. Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining the live stream this morning. I appreciate everybody's time. Take care, everyone. Stay